In this video, we're going to focus on how we can create a waterfall chart like this here, where we have the bars color-coded. If we're going upwards, it will become green, and if we're going downwards, it becomes red. So let's start to look how to do this. So to do this, the first thing what we need is our border template, which you can find here on chartjs3.com getting started. Right now it doesn't load from my end, but anyway, it doesn't matter. If you want to have the source code of this video and many others, check out my Patreon page. And of course, got a question, put it on Discord. So what we're going to do here is first create what we call a floating bar chart. Floating bar chart is nothing more than the data where we have two x values, or sorry, two y values in this case. So let's say I want to float the bar at value of 3 all the way to 18. To do that, I'm going to remove all of this. Let's put in a few data points in here. First, make sure you have an array. I'm just going to put an enter so it looks more neat. So there's an array within the array where we have two values. First value will be number 3 and the other one will be 19, comma, and let's add up more items. And make sure that this is nicely done. All right. I'm going to put in 5 or 6, oh, let's make 7 items, that's fine. So then, let's say here, from 18 we go to 24, and from 24 we're going down to 12, and then from 12 we're going down to 6, and then from 6 we're going down to 3, and then we're going up again. From 3 we're going to 9, and then let's say here from 9 we can go to 15. Alright, save. Refresh. There we are. As you can see here, we're starting here at 3 all the way to 18, and then after that here all of these values. So what I do want to do here first is, you can see here, we're skipping one part of the border. This is a default setting that is in a bar chart. So what I'm going to do here, comma, border skipped, which is set always to true, we're going to set it on false, meaning that the border that's connected, or that's supposed to be connected to the scale, in this case, because this is a vertical bar chart, so it's connected to the bottom, that part is now being, that was skipped, now it's not skipped anymore. Alright, now we have this, but what I would like to do is give it a color coordination. When we're going up, it should be green. When we're going down, it should be red. So to do this, you basically need to do in here. So let's do the border color first. And then I'm going to create a new function. Let's call this function the bar border color. So this function will be triggered on border color. Now, then we can say here, function bar border color. And then we're going to say a constant, or sorry, not even constant here. We want to return. What do we return here? In this case, we're going to return the CTX, basically all the values of that bar element. To make sure we understand what's going on here, we're just going to look here and say console log CTX, open up the console log, and you can see, or sorry, the developer tab, and you can see here we get all the information, and it loses the color here. This here should probably be removed because this has no value for us anyway, because we have a color coordination, but I'll leave it as it is. If you look here, and now I'm hovering on one, or I just hover or open up one of these data points, which is in this case data set or data index number 3, which should be this one here, the green one. And then you can see here the raw data, which is the value of 12 going down to 6. And then if I look very carefully, this is 12 going down to 6. That is correct. So you can see here we get this information, which is either unparsed or raw. So let's use the raw data that gives us basically the values of this here, basically the data that we have, 3, 18, etc, etc. So because of that, we can easily see if the first one is lower than the second one, in that case we're going up. If the first one is higher than the second one, in that case, like this one here, 24 to 12, in that case we're going downwards. And with that logic, we can now use a color coordination. So let's start to work on that. We can say here, console log, where I can use ctx.raw and specifically index 0. Alright, so for every item we will have these, as you can see, and if I do just only raw, we'll get both values of that specific array. So now we can just play around with it. So what I want to do is create an if statement. Let's remove this. Once a year, if the ctx raw is smaller, then let's get ctx raw1. If that is the case, it would mean that we're going upwards. So in that case, I want to say return. And let's get a green color. I'll just grab here this color. The fourth one is the green color. So I'm just going to say return this. And then if we are, and else, if that is not the case, if basically it's the other way around, we're going downwards, and that means we want to have a red color. Let's save this, refresh. There we are. You can see here the borders is right now not being used. We have this here, so we can use the same logic. I have here the border color or bar background color, whatever you want to give the function name. Doesn't really matter. Maybe bar color is even more appropriate. So let's save that, refresh. All right, so let's make sure we have everything correct by making one more. See if that truly works. So what I'm going to do now is going to create another item, and then this one is from 9 to 15. Interesting. Should this going up? Do I have the logic correctly? Hold on. Let's cross check this. From 3 to 18. All right. As you can see here, my bad. It should be exactly the opposite. Well, this should be smaller than that. If that is the case, now we have the right color assignment. So now let's make another one. We should expect here a red one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another one. I will say this will be Monday 1. All right, and Monday 1 will be a negative from 15 going down to 9 again. If I do that, we should have a red item. There we are, and that's it.